Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and Marvel Studios' Eternals finally gives us an official first look of its massive cast and hints at a deepened MCU mythology, all of which we must derive from 14 seconds within a Marvel sizzle cut, without getting too distracted by this remarkably cut sizzle. I mean, who needs sunglasses when you're hotter than the sun, right? I'm thinking he's the reason the sun has to wear sunglasses sometimes. Look, there is plenty to talk about from this limited footage, like who everyone is, how the Eternals will redefine the broader MCU, and interesting visual details hidden in the background of these shots that blow this mystery plot wide open. So roll that clip.
When you love something, you fight for it. We're the ones who changed everything.
Okay, so the Eternals are a group of ageless godlike protectors hidden on Earth since ancient times. They include Gemma Chan as Sersi, who can manipulate matter and has an affinity for humankind, including her love interest, played by Kit Harington, the human Dane Whitman, aka Marvel's Black Knight, wielder of the Ebony Blade. Now, Gemma Chan previously played the Kree Minerva in Captain Marvel. Leading the Eternals is Richard Madden as Ikaris. Their military commander is Angelina Jolie as Thena, who can form any weapon out of cosmic energy. At her side is Don Lee as Gilgamesh, the strongest Eternal, who can project an exoskeleton of cosmic energy. Brian Tyree Henry as Phastos, a super smart inventor Eternal who's been helping human technology advance. He will be the first MCU hero to be depicted as gay, which cool, but why did it take that long? Kumail Nanjiani is Kingo, a fame-hungry Eternal who becomes a Bollywood film star. Lauren Ridloff is Makkari, who uses super speed to scout planets. Ridloff is a deaf actress, and Makkari will be the first deaf MCU superhero, with her deafness actually making her unaffected by her own sonic booms. Leah McHugh is Sprite, who appears as a 12-year-old, but is as ancient as the others. She can project lifelike illusions. Barry Kogan is Druig, the bad boy, who can control the minds of others, and he withdraws from the other Eternals out of a disagreement with their relationship with mankind. And apparently over the years, this whole group has separated in this kind of exile. Druig likely opposes Sersi's love for Dane Whitman, as well as the aid given to humans by Phastos, and Salma Hayek as Ajak, the spiritual leader and healer of the Eternals, who has helped advance human civilization in other ways, perhaps the advanced healing technology used by groups like the Wakandans. She can communicate with the Celestials. Now, the Celestials are the gigantic armored space gods of the Marvel Universe, whom we have seen in concept art showing Arishem, Nezar the Calculator, Hargan, and Jemiah. In Guardians of the Galaxy, the Collector, Tanelier Tavan, told us about the ancient celestial Isan the Searcher, who once wielded the Power Stone, and nowhere was the severed head of a celestial. And in Guardians Volume 2, Peter Quill's biological father, Ego, is a celestial, taking human and planetary form. Now, the Celestials created the Eternals as protectors against groups like the Deviants. And part of this creation mythology is also humankind and mutant kind, making many believe the Eternals film could explain the origin of the X gene in the MCU, perhaps something Wanda Maximoff could have been born with, and prior to Wanda's Infinity Stone supercharge, allowed her to be able to cast low-level probability hexes. Now, I should point out that our boy Thanos is also an Eternal carrying the deviant gene, born on the planet Titan. According to Thanos comics creator Jim Starlin, this Eternals film is expected to go into young Thanos' connection to this ancient backstory. But this footage shows some Western imagery from Chloe Zhao, who just won an Oscar for directing Nomadland, and here depicts Ajak riding a horse with her voice saying, "When you love something, you fight for it." Sersi's love for Dane is at the heart of this story, and it may spark a conflict among the Eternals, who are currently scattered in exile between human-loving Eternals like Sersi, Ajak, and Phastos, and ones who would rather just control them like Druig. Much of this is actually based in Greek mythology, in which the gods have varying personalities like this and disagree over how much to intervene with human events in matters like war, politics, even love. But this Eternals film is also drawing on mythology from across the globe. While Ikaris, Thena, and Sersi's names are rooted in Greek mythology, Gilgamesh's name comes from the hero of Mesopotamian mythology. A beautiful beat shot shows what looks like Sprite and Sersi holding hands surrounded by Phastos, Thena, Makkari, and Druig. Now, in the comics, Sprite wipes the Eternals' memories so that they forget their ancient pasts. We could be seeing that here, with the sunset symbolizing the sun setting on their shared memories as they go their separate ways. That memory loss could also explain why the Eternals haven't intervened interfered in past Avengers conflicts. Like with their memories wiped, they didn't fully yet appreciate their roles. But if that's the case, what triggered the awakening from that slumber now? The power of love between Sersi and Dane? Nah, that sounds lame. Going by everything else in Phase 4, I'm guessing that they're just gonna blame it all on Endgame. The arrival of that dreaded Eternal with that dreaded deviant gene, Thanos, but more importantly, the cosmic energy radiated from the stones on his fist, which could be the original source of the Eternal's powers, because along with Easton the Searcher who wielded the Power Stone, Nebula gave us another link between the Celestials and the Infinity Stones, calling the Soul Stone's resting place
Dominion of Death. At the very center of celestial existence.
So, in the way that WandaVision pointed to the cosmic radiation Wanda inherited from the Mind Stone as the CMBR of the Westview Hex, and what supercharged Monica Rambeau, the same Mind Stone that alerted Vision of his coming doom in Infinity War, that could be the same radiation that originally powered, and 4 snaps later, reawakens these Eternals. But before I continue, thanks to Trade Coffee for sponsoring this video. I love cold brew coffee. It's a great warm weather treat, but it can get pricey pretty quickly. Trade gives you next level cold brew coffee at home for as low as $1 per cup. Trade has these new cold brew kits that are a one-stop shop to make cold brew at home. Sign up to receive freshly roasted cold brew coffee along with easy to use brewing bags. Set your delivery schedule, flavor preference, grind, and bag size before you get started. It's a no-risk trial. If you don't love your first coffee, Trade will replace it for free. No mess, no measurement, no equipment needed with Trade's specially designed cold brew bags. These bags and the red bags they use for delivery are all compostable. New Rockstars viewers get 50% off their first bag when they sign up. Offer valid for the first 100 people who click the link in the description. So click that link in the description box and enter code ROCKSTARS50. Free shipping is also included. And again, thanks to Trade Coffee for sponsoring. But really the most interesting shot shows Kingo, Sprite, Sersi, Ikaris, Thena, and Gilgamesh in this forest village. Behind them are some creepy looking Children of the Corn motherfuckers in matching overalls. Yeah, matching overalls. Better check their shoes for matching black and white Nikes. One theory is that this cult could be mind controlled by Druig, like his idyllic utopia formed as he believes humanity should live in a state of nature, cut off from the corrupt technological advancements Phastos has given human culture, where every surface in the MCU is a blue translucent hollow screen and everything else is a barf projection. But notice how behind Kingo is a camera crew, much like how in that other shot of him, there's an assistant following him around with a smaller camera. As a big-time Bollywood actor, he may have a documentary crew following him around, though that would conflict with the Eternals' whole mission of secrecy. So perhaps their reunion with each other here is part of a public coming out campaign? Or maybe it's a documentary crew looking at this cult in the woods. Then a shot in this dark, burning forest where Thena swings her cosmic sword against some other combatant. So you can see the energy of her blade weaving together as she poses with it. It is a bit too dark to determine who she is sword fighting with, but if you brighten up the shot, you can see this is actually Gilgamesh here. So maybe a division in the ranks between these two warriors. Next, Makkari zips in beside Thena, Gilgamesh, Ikaris, and Kingo before the walls of this ancient city. This is the famous Ishtar Gate from the city of Babylon. Now a museum attraction in real life, but here it looks like it's been reconstructed in its original form from 575 BCE. Those animals show alternating rows of dragons, bulls, and lions symbolizing the gods Marduk, Adad, and Ishtar. It's pretty cool to see the Eternals fighting battles on actual original wonders of the world before they were considered historical wonders, similar to the way Loki is using a Marvel god to explain historical mysteries like D.B. Cooper in Pompeii. To the right is the wreckage of some kind of vehicle. It's hard to tell if it's an ancient one or like an advanced craft. Either way, there could be some kind of advanced cosmic interference that led to this structure ending up in a museum. By the way, you know what Killmonger would say about this. Museums equal colonization, but I'll save that for my Indiana Jones spec script where Short Round puts back everything Indy dug up. It's gonna be good. But then Sersi says, we're the ones who changed everything, reflecting how all the fantastical quirks of the MCU, from the androids to the aliens and the wizards, are all about to get rooted in the same genetic history, to which the Eternals were the key. They were the ones who set Earth on this alternate trajectory from our own real world. Instead, a world where those early technological advancements enjoyed by people like the Starks or the Wakandans were all rooted in gifts from above. Oh, and speaking of gifts, New Rockstars has all kinds of great gift options available in our merch store, like this old dumb shirt at newrockstarsmerch.com, but all kinds of other great designs. And thanks again to Trade Coffee for sponsoring this video. Click the link in the description and use the code ROCKSTARS50 for 50% off your first bag. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Erik Voss, follow New Rockstars, and subscribe to New Rockstars for breakdowns of everything Marvel. Thanks for watching. Bye.